90 degrees to the wind, turn round and do a beam reach back to the beach again. Right. So that's 90 degrees to the wind, beam reach. Right. So that is how the sail pulls the boat along. However, should you want to go towards the wind, right, more in that sort of direction, and let's put our railway tracks on here. Here's your railway tracks, like that. Bing, 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 like that. There's your boat there. You pull in your sail, like that. And as you can see, draw a line at 90 degrees to the railway tracks, and you've got forwards force, like so. Turn the railway track at about an angle like so, and there's your boat, like that. There's your sail, like that, parallel to the other sail I've just drawn, because you just pull it in until it stops flapping. And there's your power force again, same power force, and you will see if you draw a line at 90 degrees to those railway tracks, or the centre of lateral resistance, you'll see that you have actually got just a little bit of forwards force. So you can go at an angle of about 45 degrees to the wind. We'll leave that sail so you can see, and try and leave the power force like that. Take everything else away. There's your power force so you can see. And what I'm going to do now, and take that one out because that's going to change. But basically, you see, you just got that sail there, and you basically just plonk the board on, because that's all you do. You just pull in the sail until it stops flapping. You just position your board onto that sail. And so if I draw the railway tracks at an angle of about this here, like that, which isn't angled directly into the wind, but very close to the wind, and there's your boat here, like that. You will see if you, that's the centre of lateral resistance there, and if there's a line going off from it here, like that, what you'll see here is what you've got is backwards force. And the only thing you will do in that situation is go backwards. You can try and, if you put your railway tracks and put them back onto the direction that we just had before, then you will start going forwards again. And I think it was the Arabs discovered this. Arab pirates, I think, sailing, or at least these Arab pirates put very good use to it, because if they saw a boat and they thought, ooh, shall we go and rob them, and they were down here, they had the advantage that they could come down and have a look at it, like that, and if it looked like there were too many people for these pirates to, you know, say Richard Coeur de Lion, the great Crusader warrior, was on there, they might think, oh no, we don't like that. We're going. Richard Coeur de Lion always liked to fight, and he would have wanted to have beaten them up probably, but you see, they could sail off in this direction up here, you see, and poor old medieval ships, the best they could do is probably about that, if that. So they could disappear off into the distance, zigzag away, off into the distance, and they call that tacking, because you turn the board, or ship, pirate ship, whatever it is, through the wind and slowly zigzag up. I mean, to put it on a large scale, for instance, if this is sort of America here, like that, South America, down like that, there's sort of North America up here, and Africa over here, and Europe. Apologies to Europe there. Like that. You're right down here, and if the wind was blowing straight down the picture, unlikely, but you could sort of get back to Blighty like that, zigzagging the whole way from the Cape of Good Hope. And pirates would say, of course, they had headwinds the whole way back from the Cape of Good Hope. Arrr! See, that's how they did it, anyway. Right. Of course, if you're stuck in Richard the First boat, you don't just sort of go along like that. You just end up staying down there until the wind changed. Anyway, I digress. Right. And then, of course, so you can see that you can go in that direction, up there. You can go in that direction, like that. This area here, if you do a RWA course or something, I think they call that the no-go zone. And it's good, it's great to do one of those courses. Learn a whole load of stuff about safety and tides, all that sort of thing. And you can, of course, so you guys can't go in that area, you can go in all of that area there. So here, in all that, there's your power force, like that. You can go in all those areas, and there's your sail there. There's the same sail shape, it's an aerofoil sail shape, just pulled in until it stopped flapping. And of course, you put your boat on it like that, and it can go off down in that direction. And as you can see, in those situations, you don't really need a lot of lateral resistance to stop yourself from sliding sideways, because you haven't really got any sideways force, you've just got forwards force, because that's the way the sail's pulling you. And here, of course, that's where you're really having to have, you see, parallel. It's parallel again. That's parallel to that. Yeah, that's parallel. Right, like that. Here, of course, you've only got a tiny bit of forwards force, so that's where you really need the most lateral resistance. Railway tracks, stop yourself from sliding sideways, so then it's centreboard right down, big fin for going upwind, big keel. I think the Dutch had barge boards or something, and they put them down in the water, they were on the side of the boat, like that. Stop yourself from sliding sideways. Then it gets to this position where obviously if you're going straight away from the wind like that, you don't really want your sail like that pulling you over in this direction. So this is the other sail shape, when you just have the sail like a bag hanging out in front of you, and it's not really an aerofoil, and it just hangs out like that. Move it over here like that as you're going downwind, and the pressure on this side of it swings you over in that direction. Move the sail over to this side like that, and it'll swing the boat over in that direction. So that's sort of a way you can steer with the sail going straight downwind, or running before the wind, you call it. Running before the wind. Aha! So that's the sort of thing that Richard I sort of medieval ship or something would have liked. And actually, in fact, really until the time of Nelson, the Royal Naval ships, for instance, they really were best off running before the wind with their big square sails. I think actually only one of the first sort of Royal Navy ships that could tack or beat and go upwind quite well actually brought the news of Nelson's victory at Trafalgar back to Blighty in a race, I think, against another square rigger. exciting story. Anyway, so those are the sort of directions you can go in on your pirate ship, sailing boat.